Hello, Mr. Unholy Bus here, and this is going to be an in-depth guide on the Trapper class in Dead by Daylight. In this video, we will be looking at 3 specific spots or parts of the Trapper that you want to master. First is anticipation. You need to always know, you have to anticipate where the survivors are going to be, what they're going to be doing. Second, your trap locations. You want to specifically put them in certain spots, certain locations that'll grant the better chance of actually catching survivors on your traps. And third is out juking. Now this is a big part, especially when you get higher in ranks with higher perks like I'm showing here. Out juking is a huge part, and most people usually use either they'll find an infinite, which is a part of the map that they can use continuously to never get caught, or they will use a cheat, well I call it cheesing, which is one window where they can just jump back and forth. This is one of the Trapper's specialties, because he is able to instantly stop that by putting down a trap in that location, making them instantly have to run. Alright, now that we're in the game here, we're going to start with anticipation. Now, anticipation is probably the most important, kind of same with trap locations, but as the game starts here, the first thing you want to do is you want to realize where they're going to be. Most commonly, they're going to be put at the other side of the map. So during this time, you want to set up as many traps as you can. Now notice how I put the trap in the corn itself. So if there's corn, grass, anything that could hide the trap, that's what you usually want to focus for when you're putting down your traps. Also, for anticipation, knowing that they're going to be somewhere on the opposite side of the map, you need to realize that yes, they're probably going to get 1 or 2 generators while you're doing this, but if you leave your traps sitting around and not actually using them, that just completely wastes the point of even having the trapper. As you can see here, as I'm using all of the traps, picking them up each one by one, putting them down to the next objective, whether that's a hook, whether that's a window, it doesn't really matter. But now, as you can see here, first off, as you're journeying around the map, you don't have to be looking exactly at the generator, but you more want to be on the lookout for sprint marks, like I am noticing here with her. And you also want to be, as you walk past generators, you can just hear for the chug chug sound that all the generators make. All right, now we're going to get into some trap locations. We'll go more into anticipation later. But with trap locations, you always want to focus on grass and corn. Now, obviously, it makes it harder for the survivors to see, making it more likely to trap them. This will grant your chance. In the end of the game, you'll definitely tell. The more traps you have out, the more chance they'll step on them. The better the chance. That's what you're going for. You always want to get the most traps down you possibly can. If I see a trap that's not set like that right there, I'm like, oh, I'll set this trap down right here before I continue on and set down some more traps. Now, as the game goes on, you always want to keep the traps going. Now, despite how many generators they have, like here, they only have 1 generator. Usually, you want to be placing your traps out till they about have 2 generators left. That is what I call more the early game. Sure, you'll get some people, maybe in the early game you'll find someone. If not, you just want to keep the traps coming. As you can see here, I'm pretty sure I do put one right in front of this loot thing. Meaning, if they do want to get to it, they would have to disarm this, indicating for me to go there, obviously. Now, obviously, as the game goes on, you'll get more people in the traps just randomly. Clearly here, I didn't even notice he was going to get hit, and what do you know? He gets hit perfectly. I just take him, because he didn't see it, it was in the grass, and I take him to a hook straight away. Now, coming up here, you'll see a prime example for why I see as I'm continuously, despite only having 1 generator, I'm constantly putting up traps. As you'll, here it is. One gets trapped just like that. I'm like, oh, what do you know? A person got trapped. I'll head over there. And I, of course, what do you know? Another person gets hit. So this is what I do. I head straight to the first one, making sure just to hit her so she stays down. Then I head right to the next guy, because traps can only hold you for so long. And I kind of do look out here. And as you could see, yet another person got freaking trapped as I was doing this. Clearly, my trapping is paying off, just because I think at this point in the game, I had 4 people trapped just from randomly placing them in random locations. Now, needless to say, clearly I won this game because as they powered all the generators, getting the last generator, I have the perk also known as No One Escapes Death, which is rank 3, which if you're new to Trapper, as you level up, you'll get more and more better. But obviously, you see here, in 1 hit, I put them down. It lasts 2 minutes after its nerf. But what I make sure to do is, since I hit her down and it's a limited time to only 2 minutes, I make sure just to keep going. And again, another person gets trapped. Just another prime example for why constantly putting out traps, it makes it that much of a difference. Now, obviously, I run for the injured person straight away, making sure to get one person down. Now, at this point, I have 2 people down. I'm like, okay, since I still have my perk going, let's see if I can catch the next one. So I head straight over to the door, see if she's opening that, and of course, yes, she is. So I chase her down for a little bit here. I'm pretty sure I do catch her right here. Yeah, this is going to go well with juking. I knew she would juke back, just like that. I mean, I failed kind of epically trying to catch her. But now I'm noticing, I'm like, okay, is she going to do her window? Nope, she didn't. As it gets more and more close to it, you want to always be on the lookout for if they get cheese you. I introduced that, but this is getting into my third point here, which is out juking people. Here, I knew she was going to go through that window. Knowing she'd go through that window, I'm like, oh, perfect chance. I'll just grab her and cheat her out of that little thing she was trying to do. And of course, if it kept going on like that, if she kept doing constant cheesing like that, I could have put a hook, not a hook, a trap down, stopping her completely from doing what she was doing. And also, just another really quick clip. Obviously, I'm just trying to really get the point across that traps make the biggest difference here. He easily could have gotten away if I didn't have a trap, but I did, so I caught him. And now one final thing to note is when you're playing killer, right here, as you can see, if you hold down your mouse key, you actually get launched forward. This allowed me to catch up to her using this launch method. Alright, now we're going to get into my next point, which is putting people on hooks. Now, as you'll see here, I put him on the hook. Clearly, obviously, I put him on the hook. Now, what you want to do is when you put down a trap, obviously, put it right in front of him. It'll make it harder to do, but you never, no matter how well it works, I know it works really well, but you don't want to camp. I easily could have camped him there. Yes, I could have, but at the same time, if you have to look at it a completely different way. If you were to camp somebody, you get about half the points that I'm failing in this clip. But if I actually got other people, which I should have been during this time, I would have gotten so many more points. Obviously, he got away. I expected him to be able to escape, which I'm not really surprised. But I got more points from the chase, everything else. Plus, camping just... Yes, it can work. Yes, camping works. I get it. That's fine. But at the same time, it makes that much of a difference. Like, once you become good at Trapper, you will realize you don't really need to camp to win a game easily. You'll just easily use your three core things, which is, of course, anticipation, your trap locations, and your out-juking people. Well, now that's just about everything I needed to get across to you guys. Overall, just use your anticipation, anticipate what people are going to be doing, whether they're going to do a certain generator, and of course, you could get these skills or knowledge playing Survivor, which I recommend. If you don't play Survivor, I recommend playing a few games just to understand how they feel, what they're gonna think. Like, say, oh, what I would do if in this situation. That's what you always want to be asking yourself. What would I do if I was a survivor? Usually, that's what other people will do, unless they're super high ranked. Secondly, of course, your trap locations. You always want to focus putting them down, obviously, continuously, as I've shown in this video. Trapping makes a huge difference. You easily get points. Some games, you might not catch people. Some games, you catch everybody, like in one of my first clips there. But trapping location is a big part of playing Trapper. And I mean, if you weren't using your traps, what's the point of even playing the Trapper in the first place? Because why wouldn't you play Wraith? Why wouldn't you play the Chainsaw Hillbilly guy? Doesn't really matter if you don't use your traps. He just becomes a sterile, basic person if you don't. And then lastly, of course, you want to be able to out-juke people. This kind of goes in with anticipation. You want to expect what they're going to do. You want to think. Where are they going to be going? What are they going to be doing? Which generator, which this, which that. Doesn't really matter in the end. You want to just focus on certain things, what they're going to do. You want to anticipate it. And obviously here, I'm just failing in this clip. I miss every single time. But anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been great. The reset happened today, so I was ranked 6, and now I'm ranked 16, I think. Something like that. I'm a pretty high rank now that the reset happened. But I just wanted to thank you all so much for tuning in. If you stuck through this whole video, just remember your 3 things: anticipation, trap locations, and juking. Yeah, that's it for me, guys, here. And thank you all for tuning in. Peace out, guys.